I'll ask CAO to start recording. We're going to open the July 11th Nairn regular council meeting for open for business. On a sadder note, I just wanted to open up with a moment of silence for two individuals that have passed away in adjoining municipalities. Deputy Mayor Bill Foster has passed away last week, and CEO of Baldwin passed away, Karen Bates. So I'd like to do a moment of silence for those two individuals. Okay, thank you. So meeting is open. We'll go to number 2. Is there any conflicts of interest this evening?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I have a conflict of interest, Mr. Chair, with item number 6C, Office of the Integrity Commissioner.
Okay, noted.
Thank you.
So we'll now move to 3A, Jeff Edwards, Phoenix Emergency Management Logic, to present a proposal for the vacant position of Community Emergency Management Coordinator for the Township of Nairn and Hyman. So I'll turn it over to you, Jeff.
Yeah, wherever you feel comfortable.
As long as you can hear me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm assuming everyone has a copy of the proposal. Yep. Okay. Thank you. So thank you, Mayor and Council, for taking time on your agenda, and I won't try to take up too much of your agenda time tonight. So as you're aware, Wayne Ashton retired as your CEMC, and that is a required position under the Emergency Management Civil Protection Act. So he put my name forward as an option to fill that position. So that's basically what I do. I am the CEMC for a few municipalities along the North Shore between Blind River and Sable Spanish River. I'm also the alternate CEMC in Espanola, and also the CEMC for Township of Asiganac on Manitoulin Island. So a little bit about my background is I've been in the emergency management field for a little over 20 years. I started in 2002 with Emergency Management Ontario. I left there in 2015 as the deputy chief, and since 2015 I've been working as a consultant on my own, being the CEMC for several municipalities, helping other municipalities develop their plans and programs, that sort of idea. First Nation communities, businesses, non-government organizations. I've responded to a lot of emergencies across Ontario. I've responded to everything from tornadoes and train derailments, chemical spills, water quality emergencies, pandemics, that sort of idea. So I have a fairly extensive background in emergency management. I also have, after 20 years in a field, you have hundreds of contacts that we can use if we ever have an emergency, that sort of idea. So I know what the province is asking, because I was on the province side of the board one time, and then I also know what municipalities require also. So I know how to respond to emergencies. I know people that can help us, and the big thing there is I know a lot of people, a lot of different agencies that can help us for free during an emergency. So that's always a good thing. I know how to get money for your municipality if we do have an emergency. So that is also a big bonus as well. So you saw the proposals for, so 2022, you need to have a CEMC every year. So now that Wayne has retired, I don't believe he completed everything he needed, or the township needs to complete before the end of the year. So you need to complete an exercise, you need to complete training, public education, that sort of idea. So without that being complete, you will not be compliant this year. So the first option that I give there for 2022 is, if I step in as CEMC, I will ensure that you're compliant for the year and help the municipality complete their training, complete an exercise, ensure that you have a public education program in place, that sort of idea. So there's 15 things that have to be done throughout the year, and I'll make sure that the township is compliant with that. The second option is if we move forward, or the first option is if we move forward in 2023. So I would basically stay on as the CEMC and then do additional work such as be on call for any sort of emergencies that you might have or potentially have, and then also improve your program. So I've known Wayne for the last, well, 20 years that I've been in emergency management anyway. And so he was doing an excellent job as your CEMC. And like most CEMCs, he was doing the minimum compliance required. And unfortunately, that is not going to serve you well in an emergency. There is a lot more that municipalities should be doing to ensure you're ready for an emergency, such as an evacuation plan. Where are you going to put everybody if you ever do have an emergency? That sort of idea. So in 2023, that's what I'd be working on. I would be improving your plan, looking at HIRA, that sort of idea. And in 2024, I'd be looking at the evacuation plan, And in 2025, I'd be looking at the development of a generator plan. So a lot of communities, a lot of municipalities, a lot of people think, oh, we're all set, we have a backup generator. But I've seen where, a municipality has a major event, power gets kicked out, their generator kicks on like it should, and then their generator dies. And then what do? So Town of Callender had this problem in 2006. And so I would develop a generator plan for you in 2025 if we move forward that. The second option we can look at if we move forward is that I would act as CEMC and ensure you're compliant every year and be on call to respond. So the difference between the first option and the second option is in the second option, I would just be making sure that you met the minimum requirements. I wouldn't be improving your program at all. And then the third option is that, I would ensure that you're compliant each year, but I wouldn't be on call for any emergencies that you would have in your community. So those are the three options if we move forward, and then with the option as well that I would step in for 2022 to ensure you're compliant for at least this year. So I'm willing to take any questions. If you have any questions, I'll answer them best I can. If I don't have answers, I can get back to you through Belinda, and she can forward the answer, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Okay, I'm just, I can't see you guys. I can hear you all you guys, but I can't see you guys. So I'm not sure if you can still see me, but.
We can see you.
We can see you. Did you want to pause for a second and see if
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Sorry, we're having a lot of technical difficulties with this, Mr. Mayor. I apologize.
Oh, all good.
Being here twice, so
We on Rogers.
it could be a part of that.
Doesn't seem to be moving.
No. No, not like this.
That looks promising.
Oh,
I can hear you now,
okay, good to go.
and I can see you. Yeah.
He just got the job.
One little touch of the finger.
Yeah, yeah, that's all it took. Okay.
Oh, okay, awesome. Sorry about that. So I guess if there's any questions for Jeff, we'll jump right back in. Is there any questions? Councillor Bourrier?
Thank you. I was just wondering, it says training and exercising municipal emergency control group.
Mhm.
So who is getting trained? Is it the fire department or?
So your control group basically is the senior leaders in your municipality that have a role to play in an emergency. So it's not necessarily the council. So it would be Belinda, it would be the mayor, it would be your fire chief, and then your public works manager, and then we'd also invite police and EMS as well. Council can join, but under the act, council is not required to be trained as part of compliance, but your control group is. And yeah, I'm more than willing to train council on what their roles would or wouldn't be during an emergency. To tell you the truth, there's not much for council to do during an emergency. Now, in a small municipality like this, there are a lot of roles that council could take on basically on a volunteer basis, such as donations management, public inquiry lines, that sort of idea. But there's no set role for council during an emergency other than to request it to be declared a disaster area if it's a natural disaster. And there's a disaster area and an emergency is two different things. So if we're just declaring an emergency, there is no role for council to play. If we're looking for it to be declared a disaster area, we need to have council pass a resolution to ask the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing to declare it a disaster area. So,
Thank you.
problem.
Councillor Gingras.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Jeff. That was great. You have lots of experience. I was just wondering, as far as the amounts go, the costing, if you took over now for the remainder of 2022, what type of service would we get for that 5,000? Would you be on call 24/7?
Yeah, that can be, yep, for sure.
So for the rest of the year, you would be. So a few of these points
Mhm.
from the full-time option, you would be doing for
Yeah.
the remainder of this year when you're with us.
Yeah, I don't have, I will be on call for you for the rest of 2022, except for 4 days this weekend.
Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I won't have time in the next 6 months, basically, or less than that, to improve your programming in
Right,
2022.
okay.
But I can make sure that you're compliant
Mhm.
and I can be on call.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? So I guess, yeah, we have two options in front of us. There's,
I just need to interrupt. I apologize. It's saying it's not recording the sound.
okay, go ahead.
Recording and then start the recording over again.
Okay.
I apologize.